Diamond channel, welcome. Right, today's a new episode of Jeweler Reviews. Today I'm reviewing ChatGPT. It's a new software out using AI, which gives you all the answers you need. So I'm going to test it with some deep jeweler's knowledge and then see what it comes up with. I have already tested it. I've been playing with it yesterday for the first time. Comes up with some good answers and has surprised me what it can do. So yeah, we'll do a video today and we'll think of some new questions and ask it and see what it comes up with. And also ChatGPT, if you haven't heard of it before, it's a generative pre-trained transformer. And my very basic understanding of it is it's like a software that has access to all the information in the world, on the internet at least. And you ask it a question, it gives you the answers, but it's not just like Google just throws you a pile of information and leaves you to sift through it and get what you need. It's much more like talking to a person. So you can it gives you an answer, but you can ask it to go more in depth about a certain part of it, or just give it to me in 2 paragraphs, simplify it, just does everything. So it's much more like talking to someone who just has all the answers. So we're going to test it today on some jewelry making questions, and then also researching it this morning because I was making these notes. I found out they do an image generator. There's a text to image generator version called Dali 2. So we'll type in, we'll describe some jewelry and then see what kind of pictures, what designs it comes up with. So that's going to be fun. So we'll get into it after I say thank you to these new patrons. We've got Kathy Taylor and Amanda Barwise. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate becoming patrons. Big shout out to all the patrons. They really do enable me to continue this channel, because without them, I literally would have to go out and get a job and then not have time to do any of these videos. So yeah, thank you very much to all the patrons. If you want to become a patron yourself, the link in the description. It's basically patron.com/diamondmouter. You get a shout out on the next video after you join. You get access to all future uploads 2 weeks before they go live on YouTube. And then if you become a classic or an official patron, you get access to all the full instructional guides I've made. So there's coming up 30 odd now, so that's quite a good deal. Just £10 or £20 a month. And then also the official patrons will get access to exclusive content and then ability to message me, and I help people out with their personal jewelry making endeavors. So cool, right, let's get into the video. Okay, so I've got it here, ChatGPT. It's chat.open.ai.com if you want to find it for yourself. Examples, capabilities, limitations. Limitations are may occasionally generate incorrect information, may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content, just like a real person then. Limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. Okay, so first thing I'd like them to change about it, complaining straight away. This is the search box. You can barely see it. They need to put a darker line around that little search box there. Anyway, so what should we search? Good question. I thought this before I started the video. Best way to learn to hand make jewelry. You're going to get insight to me typing badly. I'll let it out, don't worry. Okay, right, see what it's doing now. The best way to learn to hand make jewelry is to take classes or workshops from experienced jewelry makers. Read books and online tutorials and practice regularly. Yes, it is also important to invest in quality tools and materials. Joining a jewelry making community or club can also be a great way to learn and share tips and techniques with other enthusiasts. There's nothing wrong with that answer at all. Missed out, subscribe to the Diamond channel though. Right, let's try a new question. I won't dwell on one thing, trying to get more and more out of it. Let's just keep it going. So something I struggle with, people who've watched my videos before, I don't like making ovals. Well, I can do the ovals, but it's a bit, I'm always full of doubt when I'm making it. But anyway, I can end up with a nice oval, but then marking out 4 positions for claws, always a little bit hesitant to get it right. So let's ask chatty boys how to mark 4 positions of an oval collet. How... I'll edit this out, don't worry. Edit, how do I... Okay, so what I've written is, when making jewellery, how do I mark the 4 claw positions around a handmade oval bezel? See what it comes up with. When making jewellery and setting a stone in a handmade oval bezel, it's important to mark the 4 claw positions accurately, ensure the stone is secure and symmetrical. Yes. Here are a few. Using a ruler divider, measure the width and the length of the stone, mark the center point of the bezel, then using a center point as reference, mark the 4 claw position. Yeah, but easier said than done, mate. Place the stone in the bezel and use a pencil marker. Okay, it's sort of what I do. Yeah, but Okay, right, so nothing wrong with the answer, but it's not really telling you how to do it well. Place a stone in a bezel and use a pencil or marker to mark the 4 points where the claws will be placed. Make sure the stone is centered and level before marking the 4 claw positions. Yeah, that's correct, but doesn't really do anything towards helping you do it correctly. No, it's not super in-depth knowledge. It's sort of pointing out the bleeding obvious, as we say. So let's think of a new question. Okay, so next question I thought of, just random, whatever comes to my mind when looking at my workbench over there. Can I use my digital calipers as dividers? I do it all the time, just open them up. There's a nice sharp, nice quality bit of steel there. Very good for actually using as dividers if you want to draw a line. It's also got the digital gauge so you know exactly the distance you're doing as well. So they kind of double as dividers. But it's not the most common use. Oh, it seems to know. Digital calipers are typically used for measuring the size and thickness of material, such as dimension stone, blah, blah, blah. However, by using the depth measuring function of your digital calipers, you can place the jaws parallel to the surface you want to mark, and then use the digital display to transfer measurements to your workpiece and move along. Okay. Yeah, dividers known as compass dividers. The tool is basically compass, like you used to draw circles with at school, maths class. Cat. It's important to note that dividers, also known as compass dividers, are specifically designed for making circles or arcs with pointed tips, while calipers have flat jaws. Dividers are more suitable for marking curves and circles on your workpiece. Correct. Good answer, Chatty. In conclusion, while digital calipers can be used as dividers, it's not the most efficient or precise way to do so, and it's recommended to use dividers specifically for designing, marking circles, arcs, which are more suitable for this task. Yes. No problems there with that answer. So it gave me a bit more information than I was expecting. I was quite impressed with that. So I'm going to try and push it for even more, see what else it comes up with. Could you explain further while a cat jumps on your back? Sure, it can. Look, digital calipers are a versatile tool that uses a variety of tasks, using measuring glass to fix the material, such as dimension of stone or the thickness of metal sheet. They are typically a pair of jaws. Just okay. It's just describing the digital calipers more. Very impressive. Look, what it's doing is sort of typing it out, and it does the way it's wording it and explaining it. It does feel like it's someone telling you, like someone who has the knowledge and is explaining it to you. But next step, looking forward to the next step where we don't have to type in the questions. I just want to speak, and then it really is going to feel like maybe it speaks back as well in whatever language or accent or voice you choose. And then we are entering an era of making friends with our digital companions here. And I welcome that, being out in Japan, having no one to talk to, hardly any English speaking people here. So yeah, I would love an app on my phone I could just push go and then just talk to. I actually want that. So yeah, another good answer. Just explained more, just went on more specifically describing what digital calipers are, and then finished with a little summary explaining, same as what it did in the first answer. You can use dividers, but it's more common to use dividers as dividers, and you can draw circles and arcs with proper dividers, and you can't really with your digital calipers, which is true. You could, it'd be awkward though. So let's ask it one more question, something that's going to take a bit more explaining to tell me how to do it. So I'm thinking how to make a box clasp for a bracelet, something like that. Not bracelety. How to make a box clasp for a gold bracelet. Let's see what it comes up with. To make a box clasp for a gold bracelet, you will need the following materials: gold wire, jeweler's saw, jeweler's pliers, round nose, flat nose, and wire cutters, jeweler's file, jeweler's hammer, bench pin, jeweler's file, a little bit nondescript. Cut 2 pieces of gold wire to the desired length for your clasp. These will be the sides of your box clasp. Hey. Use the round nose pliers to bend the ends of each wire piece into a loop shape. So we've got 2 little U shapes now. Use the jeweler's saw to cut a groove in the center of each loop, making sure the grooves are parallel to each other. Use the flat nose pliers to bend the wires into a box shape, fitting the grooves together. What are we talking about here? I don't know what I was talking about there. That was nothing like, I'm talking about a box clasp. You know, we've got a little box and a little tongue, little spring-loaded tongue, and it clicks in position. Okay, so I gave it something a bit more specific to work with. I wrote instructions to hand make a sprung action box style fastener for a gold bracelet. To hand make a sprung action box style fastener for a gold bracelet, you will need the following materials: gold wire, okay, jeweler's saw, jeweler's pliers, rounders, factors, jeweler's file, jeweler's hammer, bench pin, coiling gizmo optional, steel rod for making a spring. So kind of limited on its knowledge. It's talking crap, to put it bluntly. I don't know what it's talking about. That's nothing like making a box snap. So yeah, our jewelers' jobs are safe. However, that's just for us who fabricate it by hand. What about the people who design it, or customers who would normally rely on a jeweler to come up with a design for them? Maybe they're just gonna do stuff themselves and then take it to a 3D printer caster person. Anyway, so right, let's check out Dali. So here we are on Dali, very uninspiring page. You can upload an image to edit, I haven't tried that yet, but basically I just want to test out the text to image creator. So let's do something that's a bit tricky, like a ring that's a design of a flower. It could be so many millions of different things. It's interesting to find out what it comes up with. Okay, flower design, platinum and diamond ring. Okay, generate. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Weird. Like, you actually really study it, see what they've done for the design of like the stones or the claws and stuff. Don't really exist, just weird shapes. Like, what's going on in the middle of that one? This is the best one, but the middle, it's not like one stone in the middle, it's just like, you can sort of tell, it's just taken, it's got access to images of flowers and images of jewellery, but doesn't really understand what they are. It just puts them together. So it's called artificial intelligence. It's not intelligence, it's just sort of data blending. It's just a mixtape of millions of different photos all put together. Yeah, weird, very weird. Not actually too offensive. There's no reason why you couldn't do that and then get some ideas. Like that could be a nice ring. I could turn that into a nice ring quite easily. That one as well, I don't like the shank, but the shank itself is an idea for something else perhaps. That is just a mess. It just looks like a ring with a head on the side and a total mess going on there. And that looks like something just I would find underneath my cat's bowl downstairs in the kitchen. So anyway, let's try something else. Animal design inspired brooch. I'm sure after this video I'll think of loads of good things to search for, but whatever, this is just what's coming to my mind now. Okay, these are much more pleasant to look at. So yeah, good. Like, I mean, as someone who makes something, what really can I do with these images other than just take inspiration from them? So for that reason alone, could be useful in our job. Like if you've got a ring design, it's not coming up with anything really groundbreaking, but it's giving me ideas from what it's showing me, so really useful. So if you want to be specific about what you want to design, you can come up with loads of new ideas. Like you could do this and then you could just say, give me more examples, change this, add this color, that color, make it smaller, longer, taller, has to be lightweight. You can really get specific and get a lot of ideas for it. So as someone who actually fabricates stuff, I don't think this is that much of a threat to us for our jobs. But if I was an illustrator or font designer, web designer, I'd be a little bit nervous about this. You'd have to jump on it and understand it and use it to your advantage somehow. Shall we try one more? Okay, hang on. Okay, I got one right. YouTube video thumbnail for the diamond mounter channel. See what comes up. Who's this? What's going on? Hey. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't didn't do that. Didn't do that too well. So let's try one more. I wanted to do something for me that's quite good, quite impressive. I'm trying to think there's nothing too obscure like what I just did. I'll tell you what, I'm just looking on my bench there. I'm just finishing that skull chain. Maybe I'll just do skull. Oh my god, it's just this horrific stuff that you get on Etsy. No, that's not what I wanted at all. Right, try again. Doesn't understand. Okay, right. Anyway, so basically you get the idea. Yeah, check it out. Dali 2. Dali 2 is labs.openai.com. Yeah, check it out. Have fun with it. Try and get some good stuff out of it. I haven't had so much success with the image generator, but I can imagine it will be useful. I'll definitely be trying it again if I'm trying to figure out design for something specific that a customer requests, or just for having fun with seeing what silly stuff it can come up with. But yeah, the actual ChatGPT is kind of good, but seems a little bit basic. If you want to get really in-depth about how to do something, you're stuck with the Diamond Matter YouTube channel for now, I'm afraid. there's no hack to learning it. So even if it did tell you exactly what I would tell you to do, still going to take you loads of practice to actually be able to do it by hand anyway. So there's no shortcuts, it seems, to learning to make jewellery to a quite skillful level. Anyway, cool, that was it. Thanks for watching. Check out this stuff. Click the link to Patron if you want to support the channel, or you can become a Diamond Matter member. Links to that as well. There's a join button. Look for that. If not, from me and Choco, see you next time. Bye. Choco's bum.